After a very one-sided first map, maybe a very one-sided second map is going to be upon us as well. Welcome back to the VR League Onward Invitational, brought to you by Intel. We're into the losers bracket final. One more big match after this, our grand final to settle our champion. But here with Bowie and Radar, we just saw Mob Squad walk that first map with a big dramatic 5-0, getting the 3-0 lead and then putting a cap down as well over SMC. We move to Quarantine. Here's why this might be a little bit one-sided. So far this weekend, Mob Squad have picked Quarantine and beaten Globochem on it 4-2. And Globochem, of course, are the team who walked to the finals. They eventually did beat Mob Squad, but 4-2 was Mob Squad's win over Globochem on Quarantine. SMC, meanwhile, have played Quarantine twice this weekend and lost 4-2 to both of them. And one to Globochem and one to Beginners earlier on.
Yeah. For this, I feel that SMC's pick was Suburbia that they just lost on. And Mob Squad
they, sorry, can I correct you? They didn't lose on that. They got destroyed on that. I mean, insult to injury, 5-0.
Yeah,
5-0. It was unnecessary.
You've been overruled there, Bowie.
No, I mean, it's correct. I just didn't want to be that brash about it. I mean, it's completely fine.
Let's not beat around the bush.
I mean, no, we're not going to. We're not going to. We never do.
You're being brash beating around the bush. Is that what you're saying?
Brash beating around the bush. That's a tongue play if ever I heard something. Listen, yesterday I said it. Mob Squad made Beginners look like beginners. And they just made SMC.
So they're going to make SMC Tactical look like?
SMC.
Yeah, so anyway, we're expecting this to be a little bit one-sided. Quarantine, a map that SMC have lost twice on this weekend alone, and Mob Squad have beaten the favourites on. Let's see whether this is going to last very long with Pansy and Knifefire.
I mean, the words you guys have just said, lasting very long, tongue play and beating around the bush. It's not even midnight yet, boys. Can we pull it back in a little? I mean...
Yikes.
What's going on over there? I mean, like, we're being professional over here.
At least we're relatively far away from them.
That is true. That is true. There's a lot in between us. But yeah, map 2, let's get into it, because a lot to be said about Quarantine, a lot of theory there that this should be better as a map, but that first map was pretty condemning.
Yeah, now Mob Squad picking this one, and SMC Tactical not having the greatest of records so far today on it. I'm a thorough advocate that anything's possible here. I think all they really need is one player to play hot for them on SMC Tactical's side, and some magic can happen here. So we'll see what they can pull out. They start on Volk. They have the Volk advantage right away. And Mob Squad kind of copying a move from Globochem. With that spawn southeast, they instantly cross the street, except they don't use any of their resources.
Comes a smoke call. Curious if they're waiting on the timing for this. If they want to start playing off the back of it.
Yeah, Soda's looking for this. This is why he's sitting here. He's looking through that that large tower there. You can't be shot through it, but you can see through it. So he has the advantage of looking through there and getting line of sight, and then peeking out and taking some shots. But now they know he's up there when he moved. Arsenic calling it out to Poopachu.
North 5-story, I don't see it.
Oof, that's a shot.
No surprise there, Arsenic downing one with a pretty long-range shot. He is a deadeye. That was fantastic. That's a huge, huge down for him, because that's rooftop down for SMC Tactical. That's a big advantage for Mob Squad here.
That opens up so much room. It denies so much vision away from SMC as well. That could have been such a big focal point for them to keep tabs on, but continue to see if this actually works well now for Mob Squad. If they can capitalize off the back of it, push it forward. You kind of want to see more fight back from SMC though, but this may not be able to be the case yet.
Yeah, they're taking their time here. 4.5 minutes, they have it, but they still haven't moved across this street. They've been thinking about it for a while. I think the smokes are going to start to come out.
You can see him on the chest.
That's fine. Just wait for it.
Yeah, and there's one coming out now. Maybe that's there to draw fire. And they actually have a rotation happening for SMC Tactical. They're going to cover that roof again. So maybe this could be detrimental to Mob Squad. No, the smoke's doing their job, and they're safely across. Now they have this north push to make.
Yeah, this is nice. It gets them over safely. They slowed it down, took their time. Poopachu going to be playing on the back of that northern side. Can work his way around quite slowly. I'm not sure how many people have eyes on this. Again, losing out on that player on the roof, this could have been a nice position to be able to occasionally look towards and maybe pressure that cross, but now they're going to have to make up for that SMC. They know that player's down, obviously. They know that they've lost out on that little bit of information they could have been gathering and the position and the hold it can bring, so they're going to have to work something out now.
Yeah, for the moves that Mob Squad are making, it actually isn't a terrible loss. If they were to be moving right up the middle right now, it would be a much bigger, have a much more effect. But since they're not really utilizing that loss of vision, SMC Tactical may have some semblance that they're there, and they're just playing conservatively. They still have a member way tucked up in the far northwest corner of the map. He's waiting for this he's waiting to see anything happen, and he's not going to move from that angle. So they're going to have to pick him if they want to keep this push going.
Two men stacking up towards that play, towards that rooftop we saw earlier. Arsenic trying to claim the ground that he so bravely fought for as well. Bit of a pinch round on these alleyways, clearing as they go. Arsenic peeking the angle. We do have Beefy, who played very nicely out of this spot. Throwing mine back, this guy's shown diligence here, but regardless, they are really up against it. Twiguken, up and over we go.
Yeah, this is an interesting smoke. I'm not sure. He's going to need another one to really accompany it. If he wants to cross that street successfully, maybe he's just using it to deny line of sight if he moves over to the ambulance or something like that. But usually you need 2 smokes if you want to cross the street. You can't do it with one. And actually, maybe that looks like a distractory smoke, and it's going to work. Pwnecake with his eyes drawn towards it as he's going to rotate back around the building.
Yeah, this is a very tentative round here. Not quick moves coming out from Mob Squad. They're taking their time. They're being cautious. They're being sensible. And I don't really blame them. You've got to be aware, as much as you are leading, you had a very dominant first map. You can't come into this lightly. SMC are still a very good opponent.
Yeah, they do have to move though. They only have 2 minutes left. They have to get up to this They have to get up to this rooftop building and make some use of it. And just in time, the northwest defense abandons it as the north push comes. Very unfortunate for SMC Tactical. They're going to miss out on any picks here, Beefy. I guess they want to rotate back towards objective. Timer's coming down. They want to get a little bit tighter on objective. That's actually exactly what they're doing. It's more akin to the new patch. You have to be close if you want to defuse. You can't afford to be far away if a member pushes. So Beefy can't afford to be that far from objective, so he rotates back to get a little closer, and now they're kind of tucked up on tight. And this north push could be devastating. They have 1:30 left to make it.
Mob Squad, yeah, they need to start moving here. They need to start moving fast. It's gone well, though. They've taken out Landon Jordan. It looks like he was the player who suddenly spun around. You could see him there on the screen. He just looked a little shocked that he got picked up. Maybe a surprise, but 1:18 isn't a great deal to work with. One player can really hinder a lot, but one of the SMC players does need to be very pivotal in this. Pwnecake going to be working his way forward, trying to find one of those players on the hill. He's got to be careful, keeps the head tucked down. Maybe looking up to pick up the position that was previously watched by Landon Jordan, but look on the road, there's going to be just around the broken wall there. This could be huge.
They have 1 minute left. The smokes are going to start to come out soon towards objective, and it's an interesting objective. You can't cap around walls, so Pwnecake gets picked, and now they're really close to objective. These guys need to respond. Hooney and Mr. Beefy are not even thinking north side. They're looking south so heavy. Beefy now rotating back around, and he has to see this, or they're going to be on objective capping right now. They have to be punching in the code. This is going to be a 2-0 advantage right into quarantine for Mob Squad. If Hooney and Beefy don't respond, Plots isn't capping right now. No, he did, and they won. Mob Squad with a nice cap on objective, bringing themselves up early with a 2-0 victory. This could be another very quick match here if SMC Tactical don't pull something out here.
This is rough. It's not how you want your run to end. I'm sure why it says 1-0. There, hello.
Yeah,
there we go. I was like, hold on.
Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, this could be a little bit brutal. This is sort of bite the pillow sort of moment. I mean, this is just rough. Mob Squad 2-0 up. And let's see what they're saying now.
To watch the south side of the objective, that wall, okay? And we're gonna take the roof, at least 2 or 3. To watch the front side. Sound good?
Arson,
wait, just to make sure, put a marker on where you want me to be.
You'll be somewhere,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And then
confirm.
whoever else, Plots, Poop, and I will be on the roof. And Squig, where do you want to be? Okay, sounds good. Okay, cool. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys.
Okay. Wait.
Remember, you're not in team chat.
No, I know. Hold on, I usually...
No, there's no reason not to be in team chat, because our sound can go through your mic.
I usually need a rifle, a longer range weapon for that position. An
Okay,
SKS
you can have mine.
or...
You can have mine. You can have mine.
So Arsenic, are you going sniper then?
No. Yeah, I say stick to what you're most comfortable with.
We're off here.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay.
Ready when y'all are.
So we don't need to get off team chat?
No, we
Now you can.
We're talking
Okay.
strat. I want you on team chat.
Okay.
And whether you're talking or
guys. All right, roger.
Well, that is a brilliant listening.
Yeah.
You get such a glimpse into the pre-made plan. A couple of seconds, they talk it over, they mull over the strategy they're coming in with. And I love the discussion of, okay, you're going to take the sniper rifle, Arsenic. Are you considering that? Is that an option? Maybe not this round, okay. He prefers playing with a bit more range in that position. You can see the theory behind these players now.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch because this is stuff that's going to be new to the general public, and so it's really cool to see a team like this talking about it and discussing it and giving some other players some ideas on how to work with kits and different sorts of gun options. And they're going to send 3. They want that north roof, and it's going to cause some contact here. If they send 2 or 3 up there, that could be 2 or 3 picks for SMC Tactical.
Could be. We'll see if that does become a factor. Let's keep eyes on Mob Squad if we can. See that plan of action trying to come through. You saw the drawing they were making, the theory they were crafting, but that could all fall apart if we see the other side getting a bit more aggressive, applying the pressure, a lot of fire down the main road. Beefy there, not being afraid of pushing up, but maybe he should have been. That's 2 big losses for SMC. 1 down completely, 1 knocked down. And Mob Squad putting that plan into action. Let's look at Arsenic here. He did make it to the roof. There's meant to be a teammate with him. Is there someone else up there? I'm pretty sure there would be. There's meant to be 2, apparently, according to that little start. Maybe it was just a split towards the building itself. Plots isn't far off either, so a bit of support in place.
Yeah, that's a really good early pick for SMC Tactical. Really not. Mob Squad are going to have a tough time pushing up this middle lane here, especially if Arsenic's still up on the roof and Plots is calling out these locations. This pick on the north side has to happen. Pupachu needs to get out of here, but he's been defending north so well, he actually got another, and now that entire north approach is done.
Yeah, Pupachu's going to be working his way up. You can see quickly switching out towards that tablet, checking where his teammates maybe were, or are, see if he can maybe plug the hole that's now been created. Beefy calling out about the flank, got to be careful. And that's exactly the right call. Beefy, great mentality, aware that that could have been a factor. And look at the call, look at the turn. And that could have been big, but they don't pick it up. The fire going to come back in. This could be really, really an issue here, depending on how this one goes down. 2 players now stand for SMC. Funcake's got to be careful. Beefy is under fire now.
He's out of ammo.
They threw the ammo over.
Needs a new clip. He can get shot in his feet here. He needs to put this in now.
Beefy's died for this.
He's the only one left. He has to peek up and get this pick. He didn't land the shots earlier. Pupachu and Beefy are in the trade.
Has the angle. His teammates will probably be working their way up as well, and you know that Pungake is going to be in trouble. He's going to lean out, try to get some suppressing shots, but he can't do it.
Find the head. It was such a sliver that Pupachu was offering him, and I'm sure what Pupachu was doing there was turning his rifle to the side so he has a little more clearance. He could just peek his sliver of his head up over that rock, and he managed to get that really crucial pick. Nice job from him. But not really a nice push from SMC Tactical, and now we're in a 3-0 advantage for Mob Squad, and they're going into the Volca defensive. So, or sorry, they're going into the offensive now. So SMC Tactical do have a chance to pull a point out here. They definitely need this point.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have picked up a single round.
Yeah, and that'll affect the finals for sure. Mob Squad playing confidently.
How good they feel. And this hasn't been one of those long games. You look at SMC, the game they had to play was a slugfest. It was long, it was drawn out. Here, not the case.
Yeah.
This is a nice warm-up for Mob Squad, unless maybe SMC start really pushing them back here. This would be the perfect way to warm into a game. Not too strenuous. Obviously, they're still moving around. They're still feeling out the game, but you've got to think in this situation, that is going to be very tough for SMC now to turn this one around on.
Yeah, it would basically be a perfect warm-up for Mob Squad. This is something you would ask of a team that you could, hey, let's play some rounds, and very likely you kind of end up with a some score lines like this. But yikes, SMC Tactical need to pull something out here for this next map. And here we go. Off into what could be the final round of our semifinals, what could be SMC Tactical being stuck at 3rd place in the Invitational with nowhere to go.
Do or die time. The final couple of calls being made, and they do begin their journey into this one. SMC back to the wall gaming here. They need to be on point because Mob Squad are 1 round away from getting themselves into those finals.
Yeah, and just taking a look at this approach, it's going to be what I would consider a couple of minutes before we see any high octane action. We're going to have maybe a pick or 2 happen once this northern rooftop position gets acquired, but it's going to be a slow burn. This objective is not easy to get to, and you definitely want some picks. I expect maybe even a really far west rotation, or west rotation from plots here to put himself kind of behind the mob squad of, the SMC tactical defense.
Good calls coming out from SMC. The awareness is still there. There's no dispute on that. Their mentality is still good. But it's the reactions, it's the tiredness coming in, it's that real longevity they need to really muster forward here, because keep in mind, 3rd place 1,500, that's fine. 2nd place minimum, and the chance at 5,000. See, that is huge. The chance to get that big chunk of change in your pocket.
Man.
Comes down to this round, essentially. SMC, okay, we can either walk away with 1,500 or the chance at 5,000. Can we turn it around? Is this the round we can do it in? Because it has to be. Mob Squad are on the verge of clean sweeping this.
Yeah, they're going to have to pull something out of their hat here. I think they are playing incredibly tight on the objective. They are not giving themselves any positions to get picked from. They're not really peeking, looking for any picks. They're going to force the push from Mob Squad. And frankly, I think it's a good idea. Mob Squad have been pretty low on time when it comes down to getting close to on top of objective. And if SMC Tactical just had a few guys alive for that first round, they could have easily denied that push that Mob Squad put up.
Mob Squad currently do have the crowd. Not surprising. You see that scoreline, you see the first map. I get you. SMC are going to have to dig deep on this one. A couple of shots coming through, but no connections made as of yet.
Yeah, that surprisingly has adjusted a little bit. That's gone more into the favor of SMC Tactical, I think. So maybe some fans out there rooting for their SMC Tactical teammates or players to get the dub here. They definitely need this defensive win. And it's going to come down to a cockpit push from this Mob Squad team. They're going to get up to that cockpit, throw some smokes up over, try and take that burning building next to the cockpit and be in a really effective position to move. And that wasn't even Arsenic's smoke. That was a teammate's smoke behind him to allow Arsenic to push up. And now Arsenic picks it up and relocates it. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that was a call out. Give me a smoke down here. I need to toss one over to the center of the map.
Well, the idea of it, if it was.
Yeah.
Really nice theory, but there is 2 players on the other side of this. It's a contested point, as you said, the cockpit here of that plane. And here comes the push. It looks like high nades coming through. Pupichu gets up close towards the little bit of an opening of a wall. And yeah, these nades are going to be coming back in as well. Smokes going to be put up. Whatever they can do. Landon Jordan needs to move back a little bit.
He botched that grenade.
Yeah,
he really needed that thing to get up and over. If he could have thrown an airburst nade here, this could be a completely different story and wipe out all 3 of these guys on this corner.
Not to be, and already 1 player down. This is an issue, and it looks like they're going to pick up the pace. 3 players now trying to push their way forward, breaching towards the tip of that plane, but there are 2 players, or excuse me, just 1. Landon Jordan goes in for the hero revive. He gets his teammate back up, but now they are under pressure. There's a lot of players knocking at the door. They need to crouch down, find that cover. That broken wall, it is not high, there's not much to work with. And there's 4 players very close by here, but look at those kills coming back in. SMC is starting to dwindle. Punke has to be careful. He's feeling very alone here, and none of these angles are safe.
Yeah, it looks like we are in now a 3v4, 3v4. There is a res available over on that far west side, but I don't know if they're going to go get it. They don't have, I mean, they don't have time for a res all the way over there. They have 2 minutes left, and Pokecake's in a pretty good spot.
Oh, not anymore. Look at that play from Arsenic. So aggressive. He pushes up. He wants to get to that final, and he might just be doing it. 2 players stand in their way now. SMC down to the last 2 men to try and hold this together and try and keep themselves in the chance for that $5,000 on the line here. But
what you saw right there was Arsenic putting his pad up over the top of the stairs so that would bait out a shot to maybe bait ahead peeking up out. Players do it. We haven't seen it yet in this tournament, but that's the first time I saw it with Arsenic trying to bait out a headshot.
Sota going to hear these steps. He knows they're coming. This worked out well before, but the pre-fire in the corner is so good from Pupichu. It's down to 1 man. SMC all with Huni here. He takes down 1, but he's got 3 more to find. He has to go big. Oh, he's got a second. It's a 1v2, but look in the corner. Pupichu, he doesn't know it. Huni is unaware, and now he's lost it all. Mob Squad, they've done it. They're through to the finals.
Wow, SMC Tactical Huni almost ran that back. If he had just looked inside or shot some rounds in there and denied Pupichu the entry, it could have been a different ball game, but Mob Squad come out with another 5-0. They are absolutely destroying, as Radar would say, SMC Tactical, and they're going to go feeling very good into GlobalChem's match.
Absolutely. That is a confidence builder if you can ever have one. It's very rare you'll get games like that where it goes that well for you. 5-0, 5-0 sort of scoreline. Getting those sort of caps as well, getting the uplink on both maps. I mean, that's a statement to be said. If you're GlobalChem, you're focused now. You have to be. You've sat around all day. You might not be feeling hot yet. These guys just had the dream game to get themselves pumped up for a finals.
Yeah, no kidding. They're going in as best as they can in the toppest of form. And it's going to be real. I want to see what GlobalChem does. I expect some interesting plays. I expect some unique nades, some different sorts of strategies coming out of them in order to get themselves an advantage against this really hot Mob Squad team.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect beyond that. I think you have to say as well for SMC, they played a great game. Yeah. I mean, it's hard, especially after that last series that they went into. They played so well through that. They had grit, determination, and they had focus. But if you had to keep that up for so long, I don't think you could have done that against Mob Squad. I think they were too good. They had no mercy in this one. They played that game with their eyes set on the finals.
I'm just surprised to go for caps when you're up 3-0. It's interesting to see, but it does get you the wins when you don't have to go out and kill Huni. Those two guys were just inside sitting there.
No, absolutely, and you could hear, I hope you can hear it, but just to clarify downstairs, the clap from the other players watching. Again, credit to this community for being amazing at supporting each other, the teammates, everyone here. You know, even if you're an enemy team and you know you might have been knocked out or whatever's happened, you love this game. It seems like, and the community is very much in support of good games.
Yeah, and you could even see after losing there, SMC Tactical going over, smiles on their faces, shaking the hands of their enemies and their friends, their newfound friends, and this community is only going to grow from here. I'm really happy with how this event's turned out.
Absolutely, I think as well. We are almost ready on the stage. We are indeed, so let's head down there and hear from the players themselves.
Yeah, that was a very interesting match, but fantastic play. Clean sweep in both maps as well. Even adding a little bit of insult to Inji, maybe in the first one, without 5-0 as well. So talk me through how you actually meant about actually doing that without dropping around at all in both maps.
This time, our communication was much more on point, and we were just we went slowly, but not too slowly, like some of the other teams might have done. So we weren't at risk of running out of time, but we got in positions and we checked with each other before we moved. So I think that really made the difference.
And as you know before, in the last game, in the last match overall with SMC Tactical, they had a very long series. So do you reckon their stamina kind of like hindered them a little bit?
I will say that by the end of yesterday, my team was a little worn out, so I can imagine it was the same for them.
I completely understand it, because you could tell straight away it's a very long series, a few hours as well. So
a marathon, much more than we're used to playing at home.
Oh, well, that's the thing. I suppose when you're playing at home, you have to really grind as you get to this kind of stage. And obviously, for you, Arsene, I've noticed you've got a very good aggressive play style on some of these maps and some of these rounds sometimes. Sometimes is that quite good, just due to the fact that most of the time in a lot of the rounds, a lot of teams do play quite passive. But I've noticed sometimes you will be starting to pick those people off, but also your aggressive play style sometimes helps as well. So talk me through how that sometimes helps.
Sometimes just being aggressive just puts the other team off their game. It makes them panic. They would start running around in places that you can easily pick them off, and that really worked to our advantage. We also know that SMC Tactical is a very aggressive team, and you have to meet them with just as much aggression. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sometimes an orthodox player style really does help in those odd rounds here and there, which is fantastic stuff. And that's us from the floor anyway. So Matt, back to you.
Thanks, Harry. We are done in our loser bracket final in about as quick as route as we could do. 5-0, 5-0 is a damaging way for any team to lose. SMC took that with grace, and the applause that Lauren pointed out, I should tell you, that was as SMC left the stage. That was from the other teams, GlobalChem waiting for their final and beginners who are out. That was for SMC Tactical leaving the stage, so I like that. A decent amount of respect from the other teams and players here enjoying our Onward Invitational, as we are as well, but 5-0, 5-0 is not a way anybody wants to leave a tournament.
That's just insulting. I feel like if I was MC, I feel like the other team just insulted me. I know there's all hugs and smiles, but it's like, did you have to do 5-0 twice?
Yeah.
Twice?
A little bit.
You think they shouldn't have taken the cap and they should have just killed him where he stood instead?
Yes, they knew what they were doing. You saw them. They
it just secures the win. I don't mind it. I don't think I'm not keen on making a big deal about whether this is disrespectful or not. I think it is winning the game. That is what you're there to do.
Play the best.
And when Mob Squad win every defense they've got, and out of 4 attacking rounds across 2 maps, they cap 3 of them. I say well played, and watch out GlobalChem.
I'd say that's unheard of. That's unheard of. In all of the seasons, in any of the league plays, in any of the championships, that is unheard of.
5-0 on the first map. They're getting 3 rounds defense attack, no cap, and then defense, and then go and cap it and take it. And then cap it, defend, and cap it again. That's as quick as you can win a map. Quarantine there. Get a cap on your first attack and go defend, get that one, and then cap it again. Done.
Very, very Boy, just completely and utterly impressive. My notes for this are just kind of wow. Holy,
You've got the word yeesh written down there.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
yeesh is just, oh man,
What?
it's just.
Look at it. So we had a moment of like, oh, Poopachu, he's just going to waste them all by himself.
Honey Half. They don't even fire at Honey Half. Look,
Honey
he's
Half,
going
just
around.
run, Honey Half. Just leave.
You had 3 people doing the cover.
Or clutch it. Oh, he might. Look, there goes our Semper, and I thought he was possibly going to clutch it. But Poopachu decides, no, I'm not going to shoot him. I'm going to cap him.
Do you know what else is really interesting, right? In the defense round, Mob Squad's defense round, SMC barely left their starting area. They all got taken down on their side of the map, trying to just leave where they started, and they got cut to ribbons. I don't know whether the Globochem had just, beginners had taken, like, sapped all of SMC's
Well, quite possibly. It is such a demanding game to play, unlike anything else. Frankly, it is, so physical. And yeah, throw yourself to the ground, get up. You heard Mr. Beefy say in the interview after their win earlier on that, that hurts now.
Yeah. I mean,
and they had a decent
series.
length of break, but that's not enough to come back and do that. And if on a weekly basis you're competing in seasons and you're playing, a match, maybe a best of 3, but
it keeps you fit.
Not to this kind of demand. Yeah, this is hard work. Mob Squad, they won't have had too much taken out of them by that. About as quick as they could have got to the final.
That's a nice warm-up for them. That's a beautiful warm-up.
Actually, yeah.
They're not burnt out. They're hot, ready to go. And if I was Globochem, I'd be scared after seeing that result.
I think they should have been scared if they weren't. You should have been scared anyway based on the performance yesterday. Globochem beat them and got through to the final, but Mob Squad didn't make it easy for them. I would be worried about what Mob Squad was coming back before I'd even seen that.
I'd be terrified. There's a lot of money on the line. There's the kudos of it. This is the first event of its kind. You want to be the victor of it.
Yeah.
Being this close, getting into the grand final, and then facing off these demons we just saw out there.
And as you mentioned, warm-up is a great way of describing it, actually, because Globochem haven't had that yet today.
No, they have not.
Here's a VR League Onward Invitational brought to you by Intel Bracket, which has been going for years now. Globochem beat SMC Tactical, blah, blah, blah. You can see that there's been games in the distant memory.
The blue names are winners here.
Yeah. Mob Squads 2-0 over SMC Tactical at the bottom centre of your screen. It's them through to the grand final, which is a rematch of the winners bracket. So the end of yesterday is what we get at the end of today. And we've had matches between Globochem and Mob Squad in the past, in the community too. So I think we've got the best final we could have hoped for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would agree with that. It was an incredibly tight game last night, and obviously our first 3-map series of yesterday as well. And it was incredible what Globochem managed to do, get those 8 rounds straight in a row. Mob Squad are playing incredibly today, and we saw that double 5-0 is an insanely brilliant scoreline just to come out of the gate swinging with. But they are going up against Globochem, and we cannot forget that.
Globochem 3-time season champions, rested throughout today, but maybe that's going to count against them. Maybe it's just got a little bit too get me on that stage and get on with it. Well, they're coming, and they're coming very soon. So don't do anywhere at all, as Globochem against Mob Squad will be our grand final of the VR League Onward Invitational. You still have time to win a set like these guys are playing on. An Oculus Rift with sensors and touch controllers could be yours. All you got to do is donate at least $5 at esl.im/donate. So go get that done if you haven't already, and then we will be drawing an Oculus Rift at the end of the show. Make sure you're in that draw, esl.im/donate. Donate kindly to stack up an amazing charity we're supporting this weekend, and then put your feet up and grab a little rest, and we will be back with the grand final of the VR League Onward Invitational brought to you by Intel.